Well, that's really nice what you're doing. I really appreciate your work because I believe that people should understand what goes inside a musician's heart and brains when they go outside in the world and try to impart their knowledge or even their skills for people in terms of education as well as entertainment. Well, for me, I started off at the age of 16.
Okay.
And it's been a decade since I've started doing music professionally. So like when I was 16, I started my musical journey in teaching actually. So I was always, since childhood, you can say maybe age 4, 5. I used to be a part of church choir and my mother was a music teacher, my father used to play the saxophone and my sister also used to go for keyboard lessons. So I was all into music and everyone in my family, especially from my mother's side, they're amazing singers and I'm also born and raised in Allahabad and everything, so which is in Uttar Pradesh and it's not a usual crowd where we talk in different languages. We have just Hindi which we speak monotonously in that region. So music helped me a lot to gain that stepping out from the crowd kind of a thing. And moreover, so I always wanted to extend my musical learning to an instrument. So vocals was going on, so I wanted to extend myself to some instrument. But I always, it was very hard for me to learn things. I had learning disabilities, like dyslexia and ADHD. So it was quite difficult for me to learn or retain whatever I've learned. So none of the teachers could, attend me or could teach me and everything. So that's how I was like, okay, no, I want to learn. I never knew that music was an education as a child. I always knew that it catches my attention. So I love that thing about music, that it's wherever I'm getting lost, it's taking me back. Walking alone, I used to hum tunes with people. If I'm not interacting much, I'll hum tunes or sing something, play, that magic drum, whatever you call it. So I wanted to learn any instrument, like I told you. Keyboard felt like too many things going on in front of me. Guitar was very fascinating, and eventually I put up my request from my parents, like, can I learn a guitar? Then eventually it was quite big because I was like around 7, 8, and quite big to hold, and we were not very financially strong, so it was one thing was it was hard for me to get an instrument and plus take lessons and everything like that. So eventually when I was in grade 9, I used to go to swimming, okay, and for swimming in my school, there are lots of students and parents having smaller grades and everything. So one parent, she just stopped me and she asked me, do you teach?
Okay.
And I didn't have any idea about what is teaching and everything. I knew my basic chords, my majors and my minors, my strings, my guitar anatomy and everything. So I was like, okay, without any thought, I said yes, okay. Fine. And she asked me how much it charged. I told her. Then eventually I used to cycle down to their house and take the lesson with the student. And eventually they liked it so much, they continued and they got me more students. And by the age of 16, 17, I was like earning my own pocket money, like 500, 600 rupees, whatever minimal it was. But it was more of learning for myself. I got to know first thing about education is like you learn through teaching. Okay, if you can teach something, if you can teach a concept, you can learn. If you can talk about a thing for a long time, that means you are really good at what you were doing. So that gave me the room. So for me, getting more students was not getting more money. Getting more students was for me to learn more. And eventually I learned more, because obviously if I know a major minor chords, I should know more about circle of fifths, progression. So I started learning through that. Okay, now this I have learned. this my student has learned, now my student has to learn more. So I started learning even more and more and more. And eventually I came to Mumbai in the year 2015 or 2016, and to complete my graduation. And till then, music teaching was just a normal thing. It wasn't a big thing for me. It was something to pass time, to learn, to experience, to get some pocket money. But it wasn't back of my head, I'm doing something very good or something like that. It was just like, okay, normal lifestyle, you wake up, you brush your teeth and something like that first. Then eventually, when I came to Bombay, I used to stay in a hostel. And in the hostel, I used to sing. And when I started singing, like all the boys, they used to, come outside my door and they're like, oh, bro, you're singing or what? I said, yes. They said like, oh, I thought it's you are playing a music system or something. I said, that's a really an honor if you're taking it that way. And not one person, lots of people told me like, spread like you're playing some music system over there. It's good. So I got a little more pumped up and all. And then in college, Bombay, lots of things happened. College fest. So there was one induction was going on or something like that for us. And there was this a cappella group. A cappella is a kind of, chorus singing, choir kind of singing. Lots of people sing together in harmonies. And the distinct feature of a cappella is that you don't play any instruments. So all the beatboxing, all the effects is through your mouth or your percussion and everything. So I just, sat down on the floor. And I was just thinking to myself, I want to join this group. And then later on, there came a request for auditions, and a cappella auditions is going on in Wilson College. I was in Bombay back in 2016, first year of BA, and then it was like, okay, fine. I nailed the audition. I got part of that thing. Now my musical journey started from there, I'll say. It took me, before that I didn't even know what are the names of the song, who is the artist, who is the singer, basic things, I never knew. I just, just like that. And then eventually we started doing a lot of shows. So, slowly we went to different colleges. We started winning prizes over there. Then local shows like that, then radio shows. Then we were called for one of the shows with Kapil Sharma. So in Sony Entertainment Channel at that time, it was for a movie Rustam, and Akshay Kumar was. We were promoting the song. So Akshay Kumar came. So we had 1 minute, 2 minute screen time on the. So it was a big experience, and doing all these things was. Coming on TV and everything is, everyone's dream. So it was like a dream come true kind of a thing. Then slowly I started meeting more people, and it was like 2018 I became serious because then, college was also ending and all the youthfulness was wearing off. So 2018 I became serious. I started printing my cards. I started, pitching to people, if you want to learn or something like that. And at that time also I started doing session recordings, studio recordings. I sang for McDonald's, McCafe. I sang for Britannia Dews. There's a brand Britannia. I sang for one of the biscuits. I was doing Parachute as well, and lots of other things. But eventually, lots of things in life, prices, and you're growing up and all these things, you're finding things about yourself, because up till up till 2018 I didn't know that I had ADHD or something like that. I just knew that I'm a bad student or a bad boy or kind of thing. But then eventually 2019 graduation got over, and I started looking out for proper work. I was teaching at that time also, like I had few tuitions. Then I looked forward for this Ferraro School of Music. So back in 2017, I did a little home tuitions with them. There was a venture, Ferraro's Cyber Ferraro School of Music. So I knew Ferraro's some organization which helps musicians to learn as well as to earn.
Yeah.
So they were in the same standpoint as how I started when I was 16 years old. So then what happened? Yeah, I did few. At that time, I was just teaching guitar. I didn't know that I had vocal ability skills to teach. Then they had a teacher's training certificate. So 2019, I joined that. 2 months certificate course was there. We used to go to Baikala, St. Anne's School. Over there, they had rented up a space for us to learn and everything. And eventually, they placed me to the one school back in Solapur, Keli. So I taught there for a few months. But then Solapur, I started missing my gigs. I started missing my shows and everything. I started missing everything. My friends to jam with along band and everything. So I was like, okay, let's go back to Bombay anyhow. So I got a chance to teach with one of the schools called Educator in Bihar. And the year I came was the same year when I returned to Bombay back in 2019 only, 2020. It was the year COVID was going on and everything. I'll say my COVID times was the best. For me, people have all the negative opinion for which is true. It got a lot of suffering, but for me it was the best time for me. So 2020 January, we did a show called Azadi Ke Liye. Okay, so it was a Guinness World Record attempt, which we actually got. It was first largest cinematic band of India. So we were like 1,000 plus 1,024 musicians, guitars, vocals, drums, sitar, everything. And this was directed by Preetham. So for a Prime Video, Amazon Prime Video show, Azad it was. Yeah, so we did that. So I eventually became a part of even Guinness Book of World Record also. Again, another achievement. Yeah, slowly happening, and then I got another call. Now it was getting little bit not bad, I'll say, but little bit too much serious or too much into life, you can say. Now you are getting all the fame and all the money and everything, so you want to earn more. So the greed was. I was not focusing on my practice or my skill enhancement. I was focusing on the money part. So I will not name this school because I had a bad experience with them. This was a school in Thakur village. And which is in Kandivali. And amazing school, Cambridge school. It was my first experience. And again, it was online, so they couldn't meet me. I couldn't meet them. I took an interview. I took the demo post-pandemic. It was going good, but again, I was not able to, work with the people, you can say, or put out my requests and everything. So lots of things happen. This is like things which people should know, especially musicians, because like I told you in the beginning, we need people to understand us. Different, because we are nice people. It's not like we are both nice and angry, you can say. We get cranky, but again, if you nurture someone well, why would they be aggressive or something like that? So yeah, had bad experiences. Then life was going on. I worked there, and that thing I got lost in I was asked to take a leave and rejoin the school after the school reopens and everything. So I said, okay, no, let it be. I really appreciate your favor, but I need to move on. I can't wait for things to happen. So I started taking online. So from here, my online teaching starts from the school, that school itself. Then my freelancing or private tuition started online. So it was a challenge in the beginning, but then online and offline teaching is not much of a difference. I feel offline and online has both of the good sides and the bad sides of it. Offline is more stress because I'm not talking about tuitions, I'm talking about schools,
Mm-hmm.
offline, because there are lots of parents, because now in these international schools they are paying like minimum 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs to 12 lakhs, you know. So they have a lot of expectations from the teachers and the school, which comes back to us as a like a bowling ball. But yeah, again, it's like for the money. Now we're talking about the money part. So I just realized, as musicians, the best way of earning is to earn money slowly.
Yeah.
You get a good school, good pay, yes, but they will take your life. You will not be able to practice. You'll become stagnant.
Right.
You'll be, after 20 years, you'll be the same as you are right now.
Right.
As a musician, I'm speaking as an experienced teacher.
Yeah.
So yeah, then eventually I tried to go in a school, work in a school. I tried there in Ahmedabad. I tried working there, didn't work out again. Again, started with my online lessons and my performance as well and everything. We used to play in cafes and restaurants. Then again, I went to a school, experienced it, I returned. So I was like, okay, let's do one thing. Instead of jumping here and there all the time, let's focus on one thing for at least 2-3 years. See, and then take a step.
Yeah.
So my last school which I worked, it was the longest time I worked with a school, which was 1 year, 0.7 months. Yeah, it was good, but this school taught me a lot of, student-centric, especially I started working when I went in Ahmedabad, I got introduced to IB. Now, IB is a wonderful board. If I get an opportunity, I will definitely teach in an IB school. It's an amazing board. It focuses more on student-centric education. So that means if I have 20 students in a class, as a teacher, I should know all the 20 students in and out.
Yeah.
How do they think? How do they learn? What's going on in their house? Parents' relationship is good. What they're learning, what they're watching, what they're eating. So it becomes more like that. Your job profile becomes more like that, and then trying to teach them things. And the best thing is subject integration.
Okay.
For example, if I'm learning a concept in English class, and I come to the music class, and the music class continues with the same concept.
Oh.
For example, let's say syllables. The syllables is vowels, and you can teach in different grades, grade 1 to 3 in a different manner. Similarly, you can teach the same thing in vocals, through vocals, through singing. So the child is learning English in singing.
Yeah.
Like say maths. Now, if I'm talking about a bar, a bar in the music sheet. So how will I explain them the bar? There are 4 beats. The measuring unit of weight is kg. Measuring unit of music is beats.
Yeah.
So they relate, all these things. And like for example, now we're talking about history. How did music generate? Early men. They took a coconut. They threw a coconut on someone's head. The person said ah. They loved it. They threw 2 more coconuts and they say ah. So that's how music started. Making holes in the bones and playing as a flute and everything. So this was really interesting, which I learned while being in schools, and I really want to use this thing in my all practices, be my freelancing, be my personal lessons, be an association. I want to use the same pedagogy while teaching. So like I got to know, then I started reading, I got to know about music therapy. I started working around music therapy for my students and everything. So it really helps them to, improve their speech, their creativity, their motor skills, their emotionality. They are able to understand and reflect their emotions the way it is.
My first question from you, sir, is why learning music is important in early education? And when as we both are music educators, so early education means I personally emphasize from the kids who are on 4 years till 16 years. So what do you think? Is learning music important for those kids in their early education?
Alright, yeah, so early education, like it's a foundation of your humanhood, you can say. It's a foundation of from where you become a human, and that thing becomes you forever. So it's always important to create that space for the kids so that they can understand themselves, they can understand an identity. They could be, since childhood we should inculcate this word in them called identity, because an identity will help them to discover who they are. We're not looking forward for them to become engineers or musicians or big personalities, but a nice human being, which music definitely gives you. When you sing songs like "If You're Happy and You Know It, Clap Your Hands," it gives the whole aura of the room, changes the aura of the room. And imagine a child from that room goes to some other school or in a different age group. That personality would be different from a person who hasn't not heard the "Happy and You Know It, Clap Your Hands." It would be amazing. You go to a crowded street and you say, "If you're happy and you know it, clap," and you see like 20 people clapping. So that you know that you are at the right. You can do a vibe check at that time. You know that you are in a crowd where you can be yourself, be creative. Like you're speaking about again early education, motor skills. Like just making them sit in front of a piano for like 15-20 minutes will give them that quality time of music education which they can learn later. A child who is 4 and has been exposed to a piano will learn quicker in the age of 7 or 8 rather than a child who hasn't seen the keyboard at all, or later in the age, however. Again, it builds confidence. The kids stand up and they speak in a different manner. Their speech is clear. They're using a lot of emotions when they're speaking, a lot of articulation, a lot of voice modulation, which is definitely important for a person to communicate. Like communication, it really helps in communication, motor skills, and there's sometimes there are students, they fight with each other. Just because that person has taken my pen. What about teaching music and making them share a piano and play? So that kind of bonding, human bonding. So it's very important. Music is very important in early education. If you want to, have good memory, sharp memory, learn things up. Okay, learn good habits, learn good speech. Learn how to behave in front of different people. And also like speak for yourself. Like I've seen students, they're not comfortable, they'll come and say, even grade 4, "Sir, this child is doing this thing." So speaking up for, because when you don't speak, you become a victim of bullying.
Exactly.
And you start getting bullied from the grade these age only itself. It becomes very prominent in grade 1, 2 onwards. So
Okay. So as a parent, as well as from kids' perspective, when they are young and they are new into music and they want to start learning any instrument or they want to learn vocals, so both parents as well as the kids are confused from where they should start. So what do you think? They can start with instrument plus vocals both?
It's a personal preference actually. So for example, some students are very, very shy. They're very shy, they don't want to open their mouth. So for these kind of students who are shy and can't speak in front of people, I'll prefer the parents to go forward for keyboard. It's the easiest and the best to start with. Okay, and for the students who are very extrovert, wants to be a part of every activity, they should go for vocals. But again, if a parent has difficulty in buying an instrument because they understand their child finances, and they know that child will not practice just for 2 months, he or she is sitting in front of the instrument and then it's just going to be here and there, it's not utilized. So in that case, the parents should start with vocal classes. Or if they have instruments at home, whatever instruments they have. See, now when we are talking about holistic education, we should know that it requires to understand a lot of sustainability.
Exactly.
Because as humans, we need to know that there is something called overconsumption. So try to, if you will play it, like how I play. I was also a child who never used to be a jack of all trade and everything. So I asked my parents for the guitar. They said no. What I did, my friend, he had a broken guitar. Okay, I took that broken guitar. I used a lot of tape and made it full nice. The fret was broken, and then I learned on that and I played.
That's good.
My parents were like, okay, then my sister bought a guitar for me and she gave it to me. So that's how, things should be. You should know that when you're getting into something, you have to get it good, otherwise you don't get it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So best thing is to start with, like, understand your child. Okay, understand if he's an extrovert or introvert. That's the best thing you can do as a parent, to understand your child is an extrovert or introvert, and then introduce them to the lessons, like maybe keyboard to start off with, and then sing along. Best thing is the parents should try learning themselves, because like I told you, imitation. Students, kids learn more when you imitate. When they imitate others. So go for keyboard lessons. And then go for it. If you feel you want to sing whatever, for example, like I told you, I get connected with the guitar. Ask the child also, what do you want to do? Are you connected with the guitar? Maybe borrow the guitar for some time from someone, and then figure it out. No, the child will say no, I want to do drums. Okay, then make them go to a place where go to a music store, check out some drums and everything. Ask the child's preference.
So if we are like putting two kids, one who is learning music, who is involved in music somehow anyhow, and the one who is not involved in music, he or she is involved only in studies. So what do you think? Which student is going to be better?
Better in terms of
better in terms of brain development, better in terms of motor skills, better in terms of confidence.
See, both are going to do well because they are focused. So the focus is going to help them be whatever they want to be. Yes, personality-wise, the musician, the one who is learning the music, is going to be much better in personality-wise, in terms of being living life kind of a thing. The other one would be better, but again, if the child who's studying, who's not into music, he or she is still being exposed to being listened to music. Parents can do. I tell my parents, my students, their parents, I tell them, whatever the child is doing, maybe playing or helping out in the kitchen, just play a soft, slight music behind. That will definitely sing a song or hum a song. That will definitely pull your child to pursue music as a hobby, or however you want to get the child into music. Just start playing music behind you.
So like as we know, our like left side of the body is controlled by the right hand side of the brain.
Yes.
And vice versa.
Yes.
So
yes, exactly.
Like when we are learning instrument, when we are learning music, so are those muscles or those nerves works which in normal people don't work? So do you think like this portion is also going to play a major role? The kid who is not involved in music and the kid who is involved in music. And the kid who is involved in music, he or she is using those muscles and nerves, which that kid is not using. So what will be the difference?
Yes, for sure. Yeah, definitely. The music, like I told you, music will give you a holistic kind of learning standpoint. So there's what you spoke is absolutely true, that left and right part of your body is working, and your left side of the body is connected to your right side of the brain. And, so this is absolutely true. There was a human being, I don't remember exactly the name and the location. So there was this person who was having an open heart surgery or something, and this person was in a coma for a very long time. I guess you've heard about it, right? So this person was in a coma for a very long time, and the doctors were doing surgery. Okay, so this person was conscious enough to move his body. So doctor said this is a very tricky operation. But the person said, I'll do one thing, I'm playing a violin. Okay, so the person was playing his violin, and the movement of the fingers help the doctors to to access the right veins and everything. So yeah, it definitely enhances your thing. Even when you're reading, so you read sheet reading, your amygdala, there's something called the amygdala inside your brain. You know, it gets enhanced. It enhances in the sense it is that part of your brain which keeps you gives you focus and helps you to diverge your attention to different things. So it really works. I'm not a science guy, so I might not use the correct term or correct analogy, but there are brain cells which enhances or get mature or get nurtured when you're reading or something like that. So again, music has a reading part to it. So again, I will not say that you should just tell your students to focus on music and nothing else. Yes, it should be piece of everything. There should be 1 hour of studying, 1 hour of practice, 1 hour of playing. Then it will get enhanced more. So whatever you're using, it's gonna get enhanced. You're using your hands, now you're using hands to play tennis, now you're using your hands to write. So it is just a good supplement for just like a balanced diet, you can say. You need a little carbs, you need a little fat, so little bit of it, and it's really good for your whole thing, whole body, mind, body, soul, you can say. Your whole mind, body, soul gets affected with music and music learning.
Okay, so now moving to our adults. So nowadays, like each and everyone who is working somewhere, whether like they are in corporate culture or they are in private or public sector, or the teachers who are working with schools, no matter what subject they are teaching, each and everyone is dealing stress. The stress can be related to the workplace also, as well as the stress can be due to their personal life, personal issues also. So how you think they can deal their stress level with music?
Yes, like I told you, there's a thing called music therapy. And earlier it was just a course for the doctors, but recently the course it has expanded itself to lay people also. Like I can also take, even if I'm not a doctor, even I can take that course and become a professional music therapist. So yes, music acts as a therapy, especially for the adults. And I have lots of adult students, and they love learning the guitar and the singing and everything, because it's a different setting for them, for what they go through and everything. And like I told you, you go to a crowded place and sing happy, and and see how many people clap actually. That's the sad part. World is a happy place. World is a really happy place, but we, because like I told you, are greed to get more, to be more.
Exactly.
Obviously, with something you have to, with good things you have to, negotiate somewhere here and there.
Exactly.
So, I won't say money is evil. I'll say money is good, but then just be fine. Know that you're going to progress. Don't look forward for big progress. But if you're good, you are a workaholic and you want to work, you have commitments, you have family obligations and everything, you are going to get into it, and I'm not judging anyone for that. It's really a good.
So the last thing which I want to ask you, Mr. Ashley, how you think that the people who are dealing with stress, if they want to start their music journey, whether they want to learn any instrument or they want to learn vocals, what should they do first? They should go for the instrument or they should go for the vocals? Because you also have adult instrument, you also deal with adult students. So what do you think?
So like I told you, same for the adults as same as the kids. Okay, so you need to know you are an extrovert person or an introvert person, and then take up the things. For example, now you're an adult, okay, you're 18 plus, so you know what exactly that thing which you know. And most of the adults, they are into guitar, especially the ones who are working in IT companies and everything. They have a guitar and they, started learning, then stopped, then it's just catching dust and everything. So any instrument, whatever you have, don't buy, okay, because again, sustainability, I'll stick to that word. Don't buy. If you have, beg, borrow, steal. Okay, don't steal, but you can beg and borrow. and start wherever you are, however you are. Okay, so it's gonna help you a lot with your feelings and everything. You feel, you play. Okay, if you're a kind of person, because by the age of 18 you know that you have a good voice or not, or you are confident of singing in front of people or not. But yeah, guitar is preferable, it's portable. Ukulele now these days, there's something called ukulele, very famous among traveling kind of people, because you can take here and there. So I suggest start with ukulele, okay? Start with vocals and club it with something. For example, if you're starting with ukulele, I'll teach you vocals also, okay? So that you can sing. So if you're starting with singing, I'll teach you a little bit keyboard also, if you have one. So like this, making them go towards, music theory, so that they get more curious, what is this, how can I use this thing for my learning in music and everything.
Okay. Yeah. So what do you think, how much ear training is important when a kid or a student is learning?
For kids, see now these days, ear training was more important when you are getting to learn music through music theory, but there are sometimes the slow learner students also who would not understand the way music theory is supposed to be understood. Okay. So you need to take a step back. Ear training definitely, if you know the octaves, the perfect fifth, major third and everything, it becomes easy for you to play songs or sing songs in that manner. So yeah, if you want to be into performance, if you want to perform and perform with other people, plus jam with other people, play at random places with random people, random musicians. If you want to get into that level, then it's very important. If you are a kind of person who just sings for themselves or non-musicians or family, then it's not that important. But if you want to impress or be in the arena or in the crowd of musicians, then it's important. If you want to jam with them, if you want to listen to them, it's fine, don't worry. But if you want to jam with them, play with them, then it's very important that you're training.
Okay.
Because they'll play any note on any time, and then you have to pick up and understand the progressions and understand the scales and everything.
Okay, so these days, energy boosting music, or I can say rap, is like very much prevailing. So whenever the live concerts are there, especially for the rappers who are performing rap, so on that place, 90 to 95% gathering is youth. So what do you think? For the youth, is it good to listen rap or fast or energy boosting music each and every time?
See, now on the lines of music therapy, okay? On the lines of music therapy, it says that whatever you're feeling right now, for example, you're feeling sad, listen to sad music. Don't listen to happy music to change your mood. No, you will for a moment, but inside this thing is not working. So if you're sad, listen to sad music. If you're happy, listen to happy music. Maintain your mood through the music. Okay, that's the best way you can listen to music. Secondly, be open ears to all kind of genres, all type of music. People should not be okay. This is rap. It's cool, let's get into this thing. No, you should be getting exposure to more music. Yes, rap is more like a poetry, and it's enhancing the poetry, collaborating with poetry aspect of art with music, which is a very good thing. So I guess it should be there for the next 4 to 5 years maximum.
Okay.
And then again there will be new music coming up. There are already new music coming, like funk.
Yeah.
Kids are listening to this funk and music. Yeah.
So now we have an era of AI, artificial intelligence. So these days, each and everyone can produce music with the help of AI. Lot of websites, lot of apps are there. So what do you think? What is the future of production, especially music production, audio production?
So the best interaction with AI we can do is with ChatGPT, right?
Yeah.
And you know how ChatGPT works. It doesn't work the way you and I work. It's not as creative. It has all the knowledge and all the answers, but it doesn't have creativity or emotions. Okay, you and I can write a song on the spot,
right?
And in front of a crowd, and it seems natural. AI will do it, it won't feel natural. You still have to be there to arrange those things. Okay, AI will produce the music, it's okay. Now you are there to arrange it, right? You are going to be there to process it, to give it more weight and everything. So yeah, AI would be there. Definitely, people are going to make a lot of fame with that thing. But again, it also depends on the person, individual's creativity, how to use that thing. It's so AI is not something as an enemy for humans. It's a companion for humans. So if we know how to use a companion, because right now, so we have since last so many years, decades, we have auto tunes, right?
Right.
Yeah, you get to listen to people, you understand, okay, this is auto tune, I'm not getting into
exactly.
it. Like the UBB heart songs, so much auto tune.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I will not, as a musician, I will not listen. That's why we are focusing more on music education from the early years.
Right.
So they understand, okay, sounds good, it is music. This doesn't sound good, it's not music for many years.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So, sir, thanks a lot for your time, for accepting our invitation. It was a very nice talking with you. Like your insights, your knowledge is going to help myself as well as our viewers also. So thanks once again for joining here. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Jai Bharat. Thank you.
For more details, visit www.88studiolko.com.